Here in Connecticut, recent logging has revealed stone walls that are now visible on Google Earth. These stone walls are set a lot farther back from an old colonial road than other sites in the area. So Dan and I jump in his Jeep and we take a long, bumpy ride down that road and find something very surprising. A site that's never been hit by detectorists. This is going to be fun. What's happening, everybody? It is Saturday, April 9th of the 2016. This is stop number 2 for me and Dan today, and it may be our last stop of the day. We're getting a lot of good finds out of this place, and you'll get to see them in a second. Let's take a quick look at the site. Alright, just a couple quick corrections before we look at this site. What I'm going to refer to as a cellar hole actually turns out to be a root cellar for the property. And you can see me pointing down at the actual cabin. And there's a high traffic area between it and that root cellar, and that's the reason why at the beginning of the video I'm just standing in one place digging buttons, because that's where the entrance to the root cellar was. The other surprise for us was off to my right shoulder, maybe 200 feet or so away, buried under a bunch of stuff that was left by loggers, is a second cabin on the property. And that made for a lot more finds between the two of us. So let's take a look at the site and let's get this dig going. So here's the cellar hole up on the slope of a hill, and down there is a cabin site. Back over there is the well, and we'll pan over towards Dan. You can see a circular pattern there. There's a ring of stones that he believes is a early silo as well. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm not sure what time it is. We're going to have some fun at this place. Hopefully we'll get plenty of coins and other goodies. Stay tuned. Alright, my first culture from this site. That just popped a button from Dan 2 seconds after getting here. I just dropped my coil and I got a beautiful thimble. It's huge. And minute and a half in, Dan's got his second target. This could be a nice early site that nobody's found yet. It'd be a nice reward considering what we did to get it to it. Stay tuned. Alright, less than 5 minutes into it, Dan's got, what do you got, 3 buttons, 2?
3 buttons and a shoe buckle.
Yeah. 3 buttons and a shoe buckle shape within 2 minutes, and I just literally a foot and a half from that thimble I got this little button, little threading. This is going to be a good site, I think. And literally in the same hole I got this guy along with that little guy. Unbelievable. This place is going to be popping. Oh, there's our little buddy, the cellar hole. I still haven't gotten 5 feet from where I ground balanced, and I think I'm on target number 4 here. I'll reach on in, and it looks like a companion to the button I just dug. Yeah, it might be a tomback. Okay. Very cool. Dan's over there digging his umpteenth target too. Nice. So, 13 seconds ago, a little button came from there. Follow my finger down, and boom. The third one, just like that. Unbelievable. 5 minutes, 5 feet, 5 targets. Sick. Nuts. Everything's flying out of the ground. I still haven't moved from where I started. There's button 5, find number 6. 6 or 7 minutes of digging. I'm gonna be shotgunning these things today. Like kids in a candy store. This is awesome. I'm still squatting over the same holes I've been working. Dan's getting a target every 10 seconds, so am I. This is a, it's like a little silver plated button. Bringing it pretty high. I thought it was all silver, but doesn't look like it. It'll be a long video. Boom, another button. Dan's got a couple interesting finds. He's got some nice tombacks, big dandies, got some interesting circular buckle. Place is crazy. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we got 15 finds between us at least. And we're gonna shotgun the finds today, I think. Broken dandy button right on the surface. So, find me over where Dan is. Got a cabin site right next to the cellar hole, which is 5 feet to my right. Unbelievable. Boom, boom, boom. Another piece of broken tomback. I haven't moved. Still in the same 5-foot square area that I ground balanced in 10-15 minutes ago. Sick. Dan's finding buttons on the surface. 3 seconds ago, broken tomback. And about 1.5 inches deep. Big dandy. Unbelievable. I'm gonna say it. Virgin cellar hole. So, right where my coil is where I got those 3 buttons, bang, 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 including that broken tomback, and I also found his partner. Very cool. Place is polluted. I'm just still working down slope in the lip of the cellar hole. I got dug enough of these to make my own shirt. A little itty bitty button. It's time to shank's busted on it. Great sight. Having fun. And I got myself a buckle spill. Better not worth anything. Right in the same hole together. I don't even know if they're the same buckles or not. They look a little different. Very cool. Well, there's my next little find. That's cute. I don't know what that would have been. A little scutcheon piece. Definitely early. Whoops. Yeah, he's got a good tone. We're gonna go over and see if he's got a coin out of this place.
That's fine. Yeah, look at it.
Oh, it's right there.
It's a button. Wow, that thing rang up high, man.
Oh, I came all the way here for a button.
That thing. That thing had me fooled, man. It must be sitting just right.
So at the base of the tree is where I just got that little scutcheon piece, and Dan confirmed he got a second button out of that hole. That's why it was ringing so high. And maybe 2 feet away, my last dig, I got another button. Crazy. We're still blowing this place up. I don't think we've been here much more than half hour, 40 minutes, and whew, we're both in the double digits. And still playing around the cellar hole. Hi. Still digging buttons. Nothing fancy on that one. Just another plain one. I think part of the shirt's still attached though. Something's going on with it. Neat. Yeah. A big circle of cloth still attached to this button. That is very cool. And just mere feet away from that last one, my little cloth filled button. I got a little something here that's gonna hide from me. Come on, you're right there. Alright, hang on. Yep, I'm on the wrong side of the plug. Yeah. That could be a tomback. Yeah, it's a tomback. Very nice. See by that raised shank portion there. Like I said, that's my last find. 2 feet away, 10 seconds later. And you get that coil everywhere, like in this mess here. Tones are going to turn up. I'll go down in there. I know what it is, it's just a button, but Always fun to extract. Very nice. Might be another tomback. You know what? Nah, it's not a tomback. Nice thick heavy button though. Nope, it's a tomback. Man, that's the buckle Dan just got. That thing monstrous. That's got to belong to the big bitch that thimble.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's big even for me. Another little target hitting in the lower 40s. I know what it is. Yeah, another button. Nice thick one. That's why it was ringing up kind of high. Very cool. See some spin marks on it. I don't know if that's a tomback hiding under there or not. Very cool. And there's my next little buddy. Tomback. Shankless in Connecticut. We've been at it an hour and a half and they're still popping stuff up regularly. This is crazy. No coins. I don't know who'd come here and cherry pick out this place and not take some of these targets with them. That buckle Dan dug was a screamer. You saw how big that was. We don't get it. I'm going to call it a virgin cellar hole, but a coin? I still got to go up and figure out what that deep tone is in the root in the center of the cellar hole, but I wanted to walk around some more. In just 30 seconds or so after Shankless in Connecticut, you'll never guess what I have in the hole. Go ahead. Guess. Oh, I'm getting stabbed by prickers and everything else in here. Yeah. Another button. That one's chewy. Looks like it wants to be a tomback, but I don't know. Nutty, I gotta be up to 20 buttons or so by now. We've been here an hour and a half maybe. I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have to stop and get me a little Kurt Franz snack. And I'm right by the well. You can see it right there. There's a big pile of stones near it. I don't know what that would have been for. About 5 inches down underneath them. A little squashed button. One piece missing. Maybe I'll find the piece. Well, I got about 2.5 feet from that last target, that bent up button, and 12 seconds later, a little closer to the well. I can pretty much go for a swim if I want. And I got a nice upper 30s, low 40s. It's in the hole. Let's take a look. And pinpointer's going pretty crazy here. Oop, get out of town. Number 2 for the day? It's a little chewy though. Thimble number 2 on the day. Oh, that one's crusty up top. That's odd. Huh. I don't know. I'm not complaining. I'll take that. Thank you. Well, here's an hour and a half.
That's all we've been here, is an hour and a half?
Probably. I don't think we've been here more than an hour and a half. There's Dan's huge pile. You got a real nice hot spot. That's mine from around the cellar hole mostly. It's amazing. Hour and a half, 2 hours? I haven't been keeping track. I don't know what time it is, but that's crazy. He's still young. First target after lunch. Another button. It was a good 7 inches or so down and got pushed down by a tree behind me. The roots pushed it down a good 7 inches, so it's kind of squeaky. But I'll take it. Nice little button. Well, there's where I just dug that button. And if I step back 2 feet, there's my next button. Little convex guy. New shank intact. No, I was hoping that was a design. There's crud on it. Very nice. And I think we're gonna file this one under junk. Get it? File. File. Get it? Get it? Well, here's my next little button. Only been a few minutes since that last one. 3 buttons and 5 minutes since lunch. Got a nice little floral pattern on it. Hopefully it's light enough that I can pick that out. Awesome. Huge tomback. coming apart, falling apart quick. Shank's missing. Shank's crushed. So many buttons. Big old dandy. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's got a little pattern on it, and I think it's the same one Dan has. And that's all I got to say about that. Mama gave me my magic coil today. Mama said I go places with it today. And between the two of us, Dan and I have probably pulled 50 buttons out of this place so far today. And there's another one. Ooh, it's got a little decoration on it. You can see it. Yeah, it's too cool. Finally, I'm getting on the board with some decorative buttons. Nice. I moved up on this little ridge. You can see Dan down below there. This little ridge that runs along the property. And the cellar hole is over there. That's where I've been getting these past few buttons in probably the past 3 minutes. And hit the base of the rock here. Whoops. I think I hit it. I don't do that very often. Bad Bry. That's a tomback all day long. No, I don't mind scratching a tomback. It doesn't show. Very cool. This place is awesome. And a little itty bitty button. Not too shabby. Dan brought up another good point. Where's the spoons? Where's the spoon parts? Where's the spoon bowls? Where's your typical cellar hole finds? We're digging up buttloads of buttons, but we're not getting any coins. We're not getting any spoons or any of that other stuff. Weird. Hard to tell, but it's pretty green. It's pretty wet back in this little corner I'm starting to work along the wall, and it's kind of toasty. But that's button number 198, I forget. And yet another button. Whoa, Nelly. Where is everything else that should be in a cellar hole? This just does not make sense. And there it is, another one. That's like 3 buttons in just like 3 or 4 minutes. Let me know when you guys get bored of seeing these things all in the video. So, there a button. Here a button. Right after you saw my last button. Button, 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 button. So, you saw me dig those over here. 3 buttons out of this little natural opening in the wall. And finally, after digging a billion buttons, I didn't get a copper. I got a cut copper. And I already took a quickie look at it. I don't see anything on it, but who knows, that could change. Whew. It wasn't a button this time. And pretty much right next to that cut copper, another button. I'm gonna have to go out and buy some more displays. I'm gonna be cleaning these shits for a while. It'll get about 4:30. I don't know how many more of these buttons you're gonna get to sit around and watch me dig, but you get to watch me dig one more anyway. Wow. This is a fun day of digging. I didn't go much more than 10-20 minutes without finding something here. Woo! There it is, 5 o'clock. We're calling it quits before the rain starts. That's a good 80 buttons or so between the two of us.
Probably closer to 90.
Plus the other stuff we dug. Dan did real good today. A bunch of buckles and that. I like that circular one. That's nice.
I have no idea what that one goes to.
Yeah, I'll take these home, clean them up, and we'll do a final count. So Dan and I did fantastic that day, and we really wanted to get back to that site pretty soon since spring was here and everything's growing in. We didn't want to come back in the fall, and even worse, have to wait until next spring even to get back in there. So 2 weeks later, we jumped back into that site, and this time around we had to be a bit more methodical since we did so well on the first trip. Thanks to that second cabin site, though, there was still plenty of finds for us, and we pretty much did as good as we did on the first trip. Fortunately, I didn't record a single thing, and go figure, that's the day I get the holy grail of metal detecting here in New England. In those 2 weeks, the bugs came out, and they were brutal from that mild winter. I wanted to detect in short sleeves. They chewed me up. Any exposed skin they were chewing on, and I actually had to wear a head net for the first time ever metal detecting. So I didn't do any recording because I didn't want to look like an idiot wearing a head net. So we're going to jump in the house. Let's take a look at what I dug from those 2 digs. Take a look at my big find, and we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, so here we are in the house, and you can see I've actually purchased a display for these 2 digs just because I had to. That's a lot of buttons, and it looks great in here. I'm using toothpicks just for now to divide this in half so you can see what's dug each hunt. Obviously you just saw me digging these, and this was the return trip as well. On top of my beautiful bucket lister, I also managed another coin. I got another Nova Constellatio. Dan managed 2 large cents as well, so that put our count up to 3.5 coppers out of this property, which is still a little odd. So these people were probably a little more thrifty with their coins, didn't walk around with them in their pockets. This is slightly different than my first Nova Constellatio. This is a blunt ray variety, and I think the date was 1785. You can see the reverse on it. It's not as good. The obverse looks great on this. I'm very happy to have that. That's number 2 for me. As well, I also got a couple other buttons with cloth on them, but not near where I found that. And finally, here's my baby. I am absolutely stunned to have this. My first George Washington Inaugural button. Shank is intact on this. This is a GW 12B, according to Albert's, 12B variety, with an R5 rarity at the time when the book was wrote, maybe 35 years ago. That would have been 6 to 10 known copies, and I'm sure that number's gone up since then. Odd thing is I'm not the only person to dig a George Washington button that day. Field team representative DJ Yost for Whites and another gentleman, John DeRosa, swinging a Whites machine, also dug their first George Washington buttons. And DJ Yost keeps a blog of his digs, and I'm going to put a link at the bottom of that because he did a nice little write-up for the 3 of us concerning that, because that's a pretty unusual event. So there it is. An amazing site with an amazing amount of finds. I am absolutely thrilled to be on the board with a George Washington Inaugural button. I didn't think in less than 2 years of metal detecting I'd ever have one of these, but I did. Unbelievable. And one final thing, you guys have probably noticed by now that I have revamped my YouTube channel. It makes it a lot easier for you guys to find my digging videos or some of the other stuff that I've put up here as well. It also makes it easier for people who aren't subscribed to navigate the channel as well. So that's the end of that. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.